everybody. My name is Matilda. I am BVM's partnership and volunteer manager. I'm happy to be here with you today to join and to talk about the important work our volunteers are doing. So, before we get into that, I want to pass it over to a very important member of the volunteer team here at Black Voters Matter, and I'll let her introduce herself. Please, Lauren.
Thank you so much, Matilda. I'm so thrilled to be part of this space today to talk about some really amazing stuff when it comes to our BVM volunteers. I'm our volunteer coordinator here at BVM. And yeah, I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you.
Yes, and we are here today because it's Global Volunteer Month. So we've been celebrating our volunteers throughout the month. I hope you're following us on our Facebook, our YouTube, our Twitter, all the channels to see how we're celebrating volunteerism. And so Global Volunteer Month is a month where we not only celebrate volunteerism, but we also spotlight some of our top volunteers and the work that our volunteers are doing. And so we have been celebrating our top 10 texters. Shout out to y'all. Our top 10 postcarders. Shout out to y'all. And the students and the folks who have been part of our 501c3 project. So we'll get a little bit into that a little bit later on so you guys can know all the ways that you can be involved with BVM and some new ways you may have never heard of before. And today we're definitely going to take your questions. So please feel free to drop them in the chat. If you have questions about volunteering with BVM, if you have any hesitations about volunteering, what you need to hear from us in order to feel comfortable volunteering, we definitely want to hear that from you. So please drop it in the chat. And then also, if you are one of our volunteers, let folks know. We want to share your experience with other people so that they know why they need to join our volunteer team, AKA our power building team. All right. So, Lauren, I'm going to turn it over to you to talk to folks about what we've done so far this month and what events we have coming up this month.
Amazing. Thank you for that, Matilda. Such a warm introduction to what we have going on today. I'm really excited to celebrate Global Volunteer Month. Of course, our volunteers are essential to building power in our communities. So it's been really awesome to see some of the things that we've done this month so far. For example, we had the opportunity to host a student-led postcard party, and it really encompassed the importance of our students being engaged in the community, being engaged in making a difference in their community, and what tools and resources BVM has so that they're able to do that and thrive. Another opportunity that we hosted was for our Kennesaw State University students, where one of our amazing volunteers who you'll hear from later on in today's live, Lauren Matthews, was able to lead and really spearhead this opportunity for our students to really talk about the issues that matter to them in their community. And one issue that really came up for them was the important issue of raising the minimum wage. Of course, lots of good majority of our college students are working jobs and working them to make ends meet while also going to school. So we talked about the importance of building a campaign around really making a change with this issue and urging our local and our state representatives to make a difference when it comes to this issue. And also just talking about BVM and really getting them engaged and excited when it comes to all the things that BVM provides. We definitely had so much fun making the campaign videos, and it was really awesome to be in a space with Black young women who are making that change and leading their communities. Another opportunity that we had was to table at GSU, Georgia State University. There we talked about the importance of Global Volunteer Month and being a volunteer. And that was really cool because we had students actually come to our tables and be very interested about what we have to offer. And we love our Gen Z population because they're not shy. They're going to come to your table and ask you questions, and we were happy to answer them. Some upcoming opportunities that we have that I really want you to listen in on because they're really exciting and really a good way to get engaged with us at BVM. So, of course, next week is National Volunteer Appreciation Week. And the way that we are closing that week out is by having an in-person event on Thursday, April 25th. Of course, all of this information is on our page, and you'll have access to that. Please, if you are in the Metro Atlanta area, come through, come celebrate our volunteers and the volunteer team, our power building team, and another opportunity that we have on a weekly basis. But because it's Global Volunteer Month, it's even more exciting having our Texting Tuesdays hosted by our lovely IJ. And we'll have not only Texting Tuesday this upcoming Tuesday on April 23rd, but also the following Tuesday on April 30th. So definitely tune in and learn about how you can text about important issues that are currently going on and affecting people, and really affecting the way people live and exist. And it's really important that we as volunteers, we as the power building community, can be on these calls and do what we can to make that difference. And one other like really cool opportunity is that I'm partial to, because it's like something that I had the opportunity to do when I first came on, is the postcard party campaign. And I know I mentioned the student-led postcard party, and tomorrow there will be a postcard party focused on information and disinformation when it comes to civic engagement and political engagement, and how to navigate those issues. Of course, it's such a critical issue in today's environment, when we're thinking about what sources are accurate, what information's accurate, how to gain access to resources, especially when there's so many out there. And I definitely think that BVM does a really excellent job of like composing those resources and really laying them out in a way that's approachable and easily comprehensible, because we all know our institutions make it really hard for us to process information, make it hard for us to really demystify the process. So I think BVM does a phenomenal job through Texting Tuesdays, through postcard partying, through tabling events and trainings, to really make it known that, like, hey, we're here to demystify the process, we're here to build Black power, and we're here to really ensure that you and I are seen and heard. And we do this through the opportunities that we host. So please come through to these events. I'll definitely be shouting them out through this live. But yeah, I'll pass it back to Matilda.
So, guys, what Lauren is talking about is about virtual opportunities, easy ways to get involved. So, if any of you all have ever had a question about, I don't have time, what's a quick way to get involved? Texting Tuesday is a quick way to get involved. We provide you with training. You can get that training right there on Zoom, and then you can text. Therefore, whenever you have time, the next day, the following week. And so people enjoy those virtual opportunities, but because it's quick and it's easy and it's a great way to get involved, as well as our postcarding. We have people postcard from morning till night. They appreciate using their voice to encourage other people to claim their power and use their voice. And of course, we have in-person opportunities as well. So don't be afraid to, or don't think that there's not a place for you here at BVM to volunteer. There definitely is. And we'll talk a little bit more about how our volunteers make an impact. But before we get there, I know you guys, because you're here watching us, because you follow us on social media, maybe you've seen the Blackest Bus in America in your neighborhood. Whatever it is, you may have interfaced with us in some type of way. But I just want to emphasize that our mission at BVM is to build Black progressive power in our communities. And so because that's BVM's mission, that's also a core value to our volunteers, which is why we titled this event today, Volunteering Equals Black Power. Our volunteers are very much about supporting community, supporting the individual, supporting each other, and uplifting Black people, Black voices, and Black power. And so, as being a part of this volunteer community, you're going to be a part of that as well. You're going to be a part of a community of folks who support you through that, who encourage you through that. And again, I want to hear from our volunteers who are watching right now. Tell folks in the chat and let them know that I'm not just saying these things. Lauren's not just saying these things. That's truly what our community is about. So let them know about your experience in the chat. And the other thing I want to say is that we are very much a community focused organization. And so are our volunteers. They are focused on community. They want to help the community, and they work, they invest their time week after week, day after day, month after month to helping Black people, uplifting us, uplifting our voices. And so I can't express that enough without saying thank you to, again, our power building team and all the work that you do. But to get a little bit into our impact, and what we and how our volunteers work actually does contribute to this idea of Black power, let's talk about our impact in 2023. And Lauren, I hope you can go through this with me. Y'all, I'm a little bit old, so I got to read a little bit off the paper because I can't remember all the facts and figures, but I will read it to you, some of it to you today. And so one of the things I want to shout out our volunteers for is that they showed up and supported our partners. And when I say our partners, a lot of you may not know that that we very much are a capacity building organization. We very much are about building up grassroots partners, building up nonprofits, helping them and supporting them, helping them to spread their message in their communities across the country. And so with that, our volunteers are helping doing the same thing. They're helping our partners, not just BVM. And these are Black led organizations that they're helping. And so I want to shout out our volunteers for one, being there to not only support BVM and our mission, but to support our partners and helping us to build our mission of capacity building. And then our volunteers also joined us as bus tour stops. They joined us at marches. We were marching to capitals. We were marching everywhere last year and even this year. And our volunteers are like, where do you need me? I want to show up. I want to be there. And so I can't thank you guys enough for that. And then you guys showed up to community events. You were there to hear us speak. You were there to support us. Heck, you were there for me when I first started this position to support and really be there to walk through this whole process with us. And that's what we look for in a community. So I appreciate you guys for that. But first and foremost, I want to talk about our texting volunteers and what they did in 2023. They sent over 13 million text messages to inform people across the country about local elections. As you guys can imagine, a lot of people focus on 2024 as a major election year, but there are a lot of local elections that truly impact you and impact what your life is like. And so our volunteers sent 13 million messages, not only just about local elections and the importance of that, but they also let people know about things that are going on in their community. For instance, they talk to people about healthcare. They talk to people about the Warren Clinic that we're hosting in their cities. They talk to people about local town halls. And so they really have been about supporting issues that Black communities face and making sure that people get the information that they need to hear, that they need to make their voices heard, that they need to claim their power. And so I'm going to turn it over to Lauren to talk a little bit about what our postcarding volunteers did.
Yes to Texting Tuesdays and that campaign. It's been really inspiring to witness it and be part of that change. And it being led by IJ has been incredible. She's the master texter. So thank you for doing that. I definitely want to shout out our postcard campaigns. So just to give y'all some quick stats, postcard volunteers sent 16,000 postcards encouraging people to fight for environmental, educational, legal, and health equity while underscoring the importance of using our voices to speak out. 16,000 postcards. Isn't that hard to conceptualize? Well, we did it, y'all. Okay. Our volunteers did it. Our power building team did it. And I will pass it to Matilda to talk about our 501c3 problem, our 501c3 program.
We know what you're talking about, Lauren. No worries, no worries. So our 501c3 program, as I mentioned, we are a capacity building organization. And so we're here to make sure that our partners, our grassroots partners, the nonprofits that work with us, that they have a sustained, long lasting, positive impact in their community. And one of the best ways to do that is to gain their 501c3. And so we have a program where we recruit volunteer attorneys to walk people through that process of not only obtaining their 501c3, but also to help them formalize their nonprofit so that they're ready for that IRS step. And so in 2023, we had 25 new attorneys join our 501c3 program. So they're volunteering their time and they're guided 33 BVM partners through the journey of formalizing their nonprofit and officially becoming a 501c3. And because of those volunteers, our partners are on their way to expanding their engagement and increasing their impact. So thank you to our, not only to all the power building team members that we mentioned before this, but also to our volunteer attorneys. And so I'll pass it back over to Lauren to talk about student engagement.
Yes, to our 501c3 program. It is popping. Thanks to Matilda. I really want to shout out our. Sorry, I had to give y'all a second to really absorb what I'm about to say because I'm so passionate about our student engagement on behalf of students that are coming from several different colleges across the country in the South that joined our power building team, approximately 430 students, which is incredible that students outside of their classes and extracurriculars that they're dedicating their service to the power building team. And your passion is just unmatchable. Your passion for social justice, it shined through your words and the importance of voting and volunteering. So I really want to shout out to the students at Jackson State University, go Jackson State, and University of Tennessee, Knoxville for committing over 200 volunteer hours to the mission. So that's really incredible. Definitely want to hype our students up because they are committing their service to the organization and to building power and to not only being part of the mission, but being part of the solution and being part of learning and educating oneself on the importance of these specific issues and how to take action via postcard parties, via texts, via the different opportunities that we have, whether they're virtual or in person. And that's why I definitely wanted to shout out the postcard party again, happening tomorrow on disinformation and misinformation. Okay. Thank you. Passing it
Thank
back to
you,
you.
Lauren. I want to just, I can't overstate enough, like how much we appreciate students who have a full schedule, and we appreciate our volunteers who sometimes have a full work schedule, family obligations, all the things. You still take time to be with us, to be a part of our mission to uplifting Black power. And so I can't thank you guys enough. What makes me the most proud, and I tell our volunteers this all the time, that time is the most precious thing that you could give us. It's invaluable. And I can't say enough how much we appreciate that you invest your time with us each and every day, each and every month. Even if you can't come one day, you make sure you come back another day. So I can't implore you all enough, who are watching, to join this community because we motivate each other. We're here uplifting Black power, building power. We're sharing our experiences. We're a true community, and that is something that really came out of this experience and is something that I truly enjoy day after day, week after week. And so I'll turn it over to Lauren to not only talk about how you can join the volunteer team, but what she's actually doing to help lead that initiative.
Amazing. Definitely, I resonate with a lot of what you just said, Matilda. I, for one, have a lot of passion and love for the community. And in college, I wanted something to do to make change. I knew I didn't want to just join some random club or something just like at a whim's end. I really wanted it to be intentional And that's why I decided to go into civic and political engagement, and being able to have a platform through BVM to really make known the resources that we have here and build our power building team has been the utmost privilege. And it just affirms me in my Black identity and what I view as Black power myself. So, with that being said, to become a part of our volunteer community, aka our power building team, join me at our next volunteer orientation on April 23rd, and the link will be dropped. It was just dropped. Yes, to our tech team, y'all. Our comms team be coming through, y'all. Definitely want to hype them up because they are part of really ensuring that we're able to deliver really great content for our volunteers. And it's a team effort amongst all of the different departments here at BVM, and we truly appreciate that. Also wanted to shout out Field. I know we're going to have an opportunity to hear from them later, but that's just another shout out that I feel like is really important to make known, especially their involvement in our postcard parties and ensuring that folks are really educated about what issues are going on. And one of the important things about the volunteer orientation is you're able to really learn not specifically how to take action just yet, but the foundation of what it means to be part of a power building team, what it means to be part of BVM, and give you that that foundational knowledge that's really important to ensure that you're thriving within our community. And it's just a great way to talk to Matilda or I as well. So, and to get to know us better, because we want to get to know you better. We want to have those close in-person relationships with you, virtual relationships with you, because we know that you're part of the community and you're part of making us and our movement thrive. So definitely be part of our volunteer community and join and take action and really explore our volunteer page, go through the impacts that we've made, and definitely take that action by signing up to one of our future events and programs. So I will.
Yes. Join Lauren on April 23rd. Join
Yes.
us for that orientation. And I can't express enough, Lauren, what you said, that even though you see Lauren and I here today and that we have volunteer in our titles, we can't do this by ourselves. Not only do our volunteers help us, but each and every single person at BBM help us. They are here to support our volunteers. And so we promise you there are a plethora of folks that you meet at BBM who are genuine about supporting you, genuine about uplifting Black power. And so definitely join us at the volunteer orientation. Now let's get to it, y'all. Y'all probably are like, that's a long introduction, but we've been talking about Black power this whole time. I hope you've been paying attention. But one of the things that we do at the orientation is we ask, what does power mean to you? And so in the chat, while you're watching this, drop your definition of power. I love how sometimes our volunteers try to think of something so profound and they come up with full paragraphs, which is right on point. And then some people say things that are so simple that are also right on point. So definitely drop your definition of what power means to you in the chat. So volunteering equals Black power is the title of today. What does Black power mean to you, Lauren? Tell us a little bit about that. What do you think of when you hear that title? What comes to mind? Mm-hmm. Anything you want to share?
Mm-hmm. Intersectionality is such a big thing when it comes to building Black power, because we are not this monolith. We are a community of individuals who are unique, who have a different perspective, different experiences. We also have that unity, right? So when thinking about Black power, I think about really embracing that uniqueness and intersectionality within our experiences and identities as Black people, and then also acknowledging that we have that innate power, that we as BVM aren't giving you the power to make the decisions that impact you in your lives, but you already have that power. And all we're doing is saying, hey, here's this opportunity for you to get out there and spread your wings and really be able to have the resources to be able to do that, because we understand that everyone's just focusing on existing, and
Mhm.
everyone's focused on just getting through the day. And I think it's really important to acknowledge that um, I, as a Spanish queer Black woman, am here to uplift the voices of folks that have traditionally been excluded from important conversations and important tables that make those decisions that impact us. So, as Shirley Chisholm famously said, if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. That is what Black power means to me. Despite of the barriers and boundaries that have been really put in our way, we as a Black community are powerful enough to overcome those obstacles and boundaries. So yes, Black power is everything. Black power is special. Black power is inspiring. Black power is intersectional.
Come on, Lauren. Do I even have to say anything after that? Do I? What I'll do instead is read a comment from Lena, because now I'm scared to reply after that. But Lena, and shout out to you, Lena Jackson. I love Lena. She's one of our consistent volunteers. She volunteers for our postcard party, and we challenged our volunteers these next 3 months to try a new volunteer opportunity with BVM that they haven't tried before. So she recently went to our Texting Tuesday, and so we encourage our volunteers to build up, to find different ways to connect, to find different ways to build power within the organization and through the different opportunities that we provide. And so she said, power means strength and change to me. I love that. And thank you for
Mhm.
sharing that, Lena. Truly appreciate it. And please, more folks, tell us your definition of power. For me, Black power is definitely about community uplift. It's not just about self and what I need for myself. I feel more powerful when the people around me, the women, the Black women, the Black people around me all feel powerful. I care about our Black people. Our organization cares about our people. And so I love to see us all feel powerful, to not be afraid to claim that power. And one thing I have to say, our campaign this year really reflects that. We fight back, like not being afraid to claim our power. As Lauren said, we already have it. We already have it. And so it's there for you, waiting for you to claim if you haven't already. And I love that we are unapologetic about saying we fight back. And and even in my Zoom background, you can see that we won't black down was our previous statement. So we are very much an organization that's unapologetic about claiming our power and making sure that other people feel powerful too. So I truly, truly don't think that Black power can happen without the whole community feeling powerful. So I'll
Mhm.
just say that. But one thing that I did want to say is a quick story, more than anything, about how we have seen power and uplifting Black power in our organizations have happened through specific volunteer opportunities. And we think that providing you all with specific opportunities, not just telling you we have this postcarding, we have this texting, we have this 501c3, we have phone banking, but to give you information about how it specifically deals with this idea of lifting power in our communities. We wanted to both tell you a story about our volunteers. And so I'll turn it over to Lauren first to share her story.
Sounds good. Thank you, Matilda. I loved your definition. I definitely think we all need to get on the bus when it comes to um, really owning our own power, our own Black power. And yeah, it's a unified effort. So I appreciate you mentioning that. I would say something that really resonated with me deeply is when we went to Georgia State University and we tabled and spoke to students about really issues that impact them and what visions they have for the future of our society. And one thing that we did, y'all, which was really funny, we had T-shirts on the table, and the way that you get the T-shirt is if you let us record you saying why volunteering matters to you. And I was really taken aback by the willingness and the excitement that folks really had to get in front of the camera and share why it matters to you, just without them thinking. It was something that came, that's how I know Black power is innate, because it just came from within, and they shared why being a volunteer matters to them. And it really left me with thoughts that I have to this day. It really inspires me to think of a future where we can really own our political and civic power, own our Black power, and our students, our young people are definitely a huge part of leading that effort. And I really want to reiterate to our young people that this space is for you as well. It's for you to lead, because you are the future of our society, you are the future of our communities. And that's, y'all had to be there, y'all. Like, it was amazing. Our first participant that had the chance to be recorded was just super animated when talking about why volunteering, why service matters to him. And afterwards we were like, where did that come from? And that was really cool. And uh, just being able to connect their aspirations and their passion and compassion to actual actionable ways that they can make change is really inspiring, because we did see some light bulbs go off when they heard what issues we focus on. And when I told them, like, hey, check us out on social media, like, actually see what our people are doing in the communities to make a change, they're like, of course we want to join the movement. We just hadn't heard about it, but now we know, and we're going to join the movement. Okay, so that was really awesome. And I will turn it to Matilda for her story.
I cannot say enough how right you are. And it is almost that you have to be there, because so many of the students left me like snapping and clapping my hands to the passion that they have about service and being involved in volunteerism. And so for our current volunteers, I want to share two short stories. One, to our postcarders. We have postcard for so many different things. I've had a volunteer share with me how they, in writing words about claiming your power, claiming your voice, using your voice to show what you need for your community, how writing those words empowered them to realize that they have a voice, that their voice is important, and that if they can reach someone with their words, they're happy to do it. And that person postcards with us from day to night, each and every campaign, because they realize that this is really about community uplift. And I want to reach out to more folks in our community to let them know that they have a voice and they should use their voice to speak up and speak out. And I want to give them the resources. I want to help in any way that I can. So I love seeing that from our postcarders. And we'll have a few of our staff members come up. So I won't go too deep into texting, but at least with texting, I appreciate seeing the responses that our volunteers get, where they say, this person didn't even know this local election was happening. And so I was able to give them the information. This person didn't know, that didn't have a ride to the polls. So I was able to give them information. This person didn't know warrant clinics existed, and I was able to give them information so that they could clear warrants from their records. They can have freedom of movement. They can feel like they can move around in their community in a way that they haven't in a while. And so I'm going to give those short examples, because honestly and truly, it has been day after day where we see impact from our volunteers expressing what's going on with them, impact from our volunteers from what they see in our campaigns and being able to participate in campaigns. And one thing I wanted to do was read a quick quote from someone. And it said, this was the second time I volunteered for Black Voters Matter, and it only deepened my appreciation for this organization and all the incredible work they do. It's such a great opportunity to spread awareness, serve communities, and connect with people from all around the US. And so that's really what our volunteer opportunities are about. That's why we talk about volunteering as Black power. Oftentimes, you may not make that connection, but it's really truly here and at the core of what we do here. So it's at the core of our volunteer community. And so I just wanted to share that story, and then also pass it over to Lauren to finally bring up one of our volunteers who is amazing. So I'll pass it back over to Lauren.
Y'all, you don't even know this volunteer. She has been so incredibly supportive when it comes to our mission of BVM. She truly embodies that mission in the service that she provides. And not only is it service, but it's really embodying the values of the community and really making an effort to expand our programming and provide more opportunities for our young volunteers, our student volunteers to make a difference. And it was incredible to see how she shined at our Kennesaw State University training on their service day. And just her ability to connect with young people is awe-inspiring. Her ability to really resonate with the issues that matter to them is inspiring. Also, she has a really great way of speaking and putting words together. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you Lauren Matthews, the the better half of the Lauren duo. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be here today. And I don't want to say that I'm the better half of the Laurens. We work great together.
Yeah, we're definitely a collaborative duo. Yeah, but still, you're the better half. Okay, so I'll just move on from that. Um, so I also wanted to just make a note that you've been volunteering with us for the past 8 months. So congratulations on that 8 month anniversary. That's really incredible. And not a lot of people can say that they've been consistently giving service to an organization for that long consistently. So I really appreciate you just being there and lending your time, even though you have a full-time job and full-time responsibilities. So I really want to get into the conversation around Black power and building Black power through volunteering at BVM. So, without further ado, I want to ask you, what got you involved in BVM volunteering? What got you involved in the power building team?
Okay. Um, why I got or chose to volunteer with BBM is because I wanted to be a part of a movement that not only addresses the systematic issues affecting Black communities, but also celebrates and harnesses our collective power, which you guys kind of made mention to a little bit earlier. So BBM's commitment to empowering the communities, but also fostering change through like voter engagement spoke deeply to my values of justice and also equality. So seeing how BBM focuses on not just the act of voting, but also building long-term capacity within communities inspired me to get involved with you guys. And I was also very, very drawn to the idea of contributing to a cause that doesn't just aim for short-term wins, but strives to create a sustainable impact that kind of reverberates through generations. So volunteering here allows me to be a part of the community that's kind of actively shaping its destiny, one conversation at a time, kind of like right now.
Actively shaping one's destiny. That is such a powerful statement. I appreciate you sharing that. What does volunteering equal Black power mean to you?
Volunteering equaling Black power. Okay, so they kind of go hand in hand to me, because it is a practical expression of like our agency and solidarity. It's about taking direct action to shape the environments that we live in and the futures that we also desire. So through volunteering, we can address like specific issues like how things disproportionately affect Black communities, like education disparities, healthcare access, and economic inequality. Each act of service is a step towards dismantling systematic barriers, but also fostering an environment where Black individuals and communities can thrive. So, volunteering within Black communities helps to strengthen our networks, amplify our voices, and preserve our cultural heritage, while also building the foundations for sustained political and social power. So, in essence, long story short, it's about harnessing our collective strength to make meaningful, enduring changes that reflect our values and needs.
Mm-hmm. I told y'all she has a way with words, and I am just in awe of the way she's able to really um, resonate with the mission of BBM and why it's so important for y'all to be part of our mission in building Black power through volunteering. So, we've talked a lot about impact too, impact in regards to what our volunteers do like on a day-to-day basis, whether it's texting, postcarding, etc., just spreading the word about BVM. There's so many ways volunteers get involved, and you've made an impact yourself, so you can say firsthand what that impact looks like. What impact have you seen personally as a result of BVM volunteering?
Okay, so the impact that I've seen would be, well, through my experience, I've seen how dedicated volunteer efforts can revitalize community spaces and provide essential services to those in need and bring educational opportunities to maybe underserved areas. So, for instance, I've volunteered a lot throughout the Atlanta metro area, whether that's community cleanups and renovation projects, not only to beautify neighborhoods, but also to instill a sense of pride and ownership among the residents. So also like educational programs run by volunteers can also elevate youth or the local youth. It can offer them pathways to success that maybe have been previously inaccessible. And moreover, the active volunteering builds a network of active, engaged citizens who are prepared to respond to community needs and emergencies. So basically, this collective action kind of fosters a resilient community spirit where individuals feel connected and committed to supporting each other.
Mhm. Yes, I definitely agree with everything that you just said. I think it's really important to note when you talked about just like the impact of just the short term and long term impacts that we see, and just also like the different examples of ways that Black people can volunteer in their community and take those actions. And it just shows that we are not a monolith, that we are experiencing different things, volunteering in different ways. And I think it's very powerful to hear from you how you've been volunteering and how you've been dedicating your service. And the fact that you've been doing it here at BVM as well is very something that I'm very grateful for, and the power building team is very grateful for. So, just to get a little deeper, I wanted to learn really what you've learned about yourself in this time as a BVM volunteer. Are there any skills that you honed in on? Are there any aspirations that you dove into, or any aspirations that came to you as you were working, really giving your service?
Okay. What I have learned. So volunteering has taught me a lot about like my capabilities, but also my passions. I've learned that I do have like a deep reservoir of compassion and like a strong drive to make a difference in the world. I know that sounds super duper corny, but yeah, that is what it is. Basically, doing this, engaging directly with community issues, has helped me realize the power of like active listening and empathy in creating meaningful change. It has also pushed me to develop new skills like organizing events or communicating effectively. But most importantly, volunteering has shown me that my actions can have real impact, which has inspired me to take on challenges that I previously thought were kind of beyond my scope, basically. So each volunteer opportunity that I've ever done or experience that I've had basically reinforces my commitment to service and my belief in the collective power of community action.
Mhm. Yes, to everything you just said. I really appreciate you sharing how this program, how this opportunity has really developed like really positive things for yourself as an individual. And I think that's really important when building collective Black power, is focusing too on the individual and really making sure that we hone in on the importance of uplifting each person and not leaving anyone behind. So I really appreciate you sharing that. Um, with that being said, my last question for you is, what hopes do you have for the Power Building volunteer team?
Okay, so my hopes for the volunteer team are basically empowerment, growth, and lasting impact. So um, I aim for us to basically foster a environment where every volunteer feels valued and motivated to contribute to their best. Um, so through like training and development, I hope to see volunteers take on leadership roles and initiate projects that resonate with their passions and the community's needs. But ultimately, my goal is for the team to be kind of like a catalyst for sustainable change, where the efforts of today kind of lay the groundwork for future generations to continue building a more engaged but also empowered community.
Mhm. Yes, Lauren. I had promised previously not to you after like an amazing statement, but it's just so hard when you have such powerful words. And I just want to say, on behalf of the Power Building team, we thank you. We appreciate you. Your presence is not unnoticed. And we hope that we can continue collaborating and building collective Black power together. Thank you so much, Lauren.
Yeah.
Thank
The
you,
better half.
Lauren. I love it. I love it. Thank you for that, Lauren Matthews and Lauren Walter, the two Laurens, the two best Laurens there are. One thing I want to say before I introduce this next person, shout out to the folks in the chat who are saying they're volunteering now and watching this live stream. I love the dedication. I love the engagement. We truly appreciate that. And so we're about to close it out, y'all. And we chose the right person to help us close it out. She is on the ground now. She is one of the co-directors of our field team at BBM. She is experienced in community organizing and nonprofit life. And she has been personally for me a support system, someone who provides powerful words day in and day out. And so you guys will see when she comes up on the screen. But I just want to introduce you guys to one of our staff members who is amazing, amazing, amazing. And I can't wait for you all to hear from her. Alethea, please join us.
Hello.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
we got a RJ. Come on. Look at BBM out. Look at the gear on. Look at that.
Yes, twinning today.
I love it. I love it.
Field. So as you said, we have a special guest with us, and you've referenced her throughout the presentation. So I want Ajay Alvarado, our digital manager, to go ahead and give her a shout out and say, hey, what's up?
So at BBM, you all have already been talking about all the amazing volunteer opportunities, and I help spearhead our texting as our texting communications associate. And like Lauren said, we've already sent out 13 million texts over last year, and we're probably close to that amount this year because it's a very important year, and we've been sending out text messages back to back to back. Alethea and I are currently in Tennessee, traveling throughout Tennessee to give focus on the TSU defunding, and we did a texting event in person today with TSU, Tennessee State University students, and it was so exciting. We sent out over 30,000 text messages in less than 30 minutes. So we made some real impact, and I just want to give an example of how people get the text messages and actually follow the actions in the text message. So one of our organizers went to go pick up in a car in Tennessee, and someone was like, hey, are you guys Black Voters Matter? I got the text from you all, and I called the governor to ask him to to fund TSU. So it's just an example of how these texts actually are impacting our everyday lives, and it really does build Black power. So I'm grateful to be here with you all, and I hope you join Texting Tuesdays every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. We have an amazing hour of power where we're able to train you all on Impactive, our texting platform, and then you also get a chance to be able to make some real changes in our messages. So again, I'm super grateful to be here with you all, and thank you.
Thanks, Ajay. And I want to thank the three ladies that you have on the screen with you along with me, that these are the faces. These are the women that make it happen. So volunteers, as we are honoring you, let's just give it up for these three wonderful women, allowing us to be able to share our power through volunteerism as well. So I love working with them, and I know you all do too. So come on, give them shout outs in the comments. Tell them how much you feel their love and their passion for this work as well. So I'll give it back to you, Matilda.
Yo, like, don't do it today. We ain't done yet. You about to make me cry on screen, right?
Right.
You don't do it today, Alethea. For real.
I
truly
love you guys. We love you, ladies.
Yeah,
Yes.
I appreciate that. I can't express enough. Even Alethea, just what you said, and Ajay, what you said, really reflects our community here and reflects our volunteer community. And so we can't do this without each other, y'all. So I can't express enough how important it is to have women like this who are on the screen supporting, but also our volunteer team supporting. So as you all know, the theme today is volunteering equals Black power. And so we wanted you to, one, tell a little bit of an experience that you've had with our volunteers. Ajay has already talked about it, but if you have more to say, please do. And Alethea, talk about your experience with our volunteers. And then the second question is, tell us what that theme means to you.
Definitely. I think piggybacking on what Ajay mentioned, that we just left Tennessee State University. Currently, we are here on a campaign which we are calling the Big Payback. Since 1987, Tennessee State University has been underfunded to the tune of $2.1 billion, and that has been reported from the U.S. Department of Education. And so we are saying to Governor Lee that we want you to put in your budget for 2025 all of that $2.1 billion. And while we were here, we asked the students, what could you do with that $2.1 billion? They talked about an increase in housing, and housing that made them feel safe so that they had an atmosphere to learn. They talked about more parking and access to get to classes on time. And then they also talked about the fact that they love this university so much, what it's done for them. They want an expansion of undergraduate and graduate studies, that they may continue to stay on TSU because it is a quality institution. And once they're able to get that money, they will be able to take their level of excellence even further. And so we want to support those young people because they deserve to go to a great, their professors and the administration, but now the funding will be able to allow them to do even more. So as you talk about volunteering and equaling Black power, my grandmother used to say, how does the ant eat the elephant? One bite at a time. So one thought at a time, one person at a time. It's going to take a long time for one ant to eat the elephant. But if you have two ants alongside, if you have 4 ants, if you have 10 ants, as many people, there is power in numbers. And so when we have volunteers, we were able to send out last year 13 million. But if we doubled the amount of volunteers we have this year, we can send out 26 million or more. So each and every week, we want to build on that power to be able to use our skills and our talents for just 1 hour, as y'all call it, the hour of power, that we are able to affect lives. We are able to inform and empower people about campaigns they didn't know about knowing where to go to vote. Because we know that one of the forms of voter suppression is this redistricting that we've been seeing across the country, that people have been put in different districts in the course of 3 to 5 years, and some folks don't know where to vote. So when you take the time to come to us on Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. Eastern, and you share that information, you are not only just helping someone, you are changing their lives. You are changing the tide for that community. So volunteerism truly does equal Black power. Another example I'd like to share is that I love the saying that a rising tide lifts all boats. Quite a few people think when we say Black power, we're being racist, we're being selfish. But the reality is, the issues that affect Black people affect all people. And when we say, I matter, you matter, we matter, Black voters matter. For example, a group in the 60s in California said, our Black children are not getting enough to eat. And so they are not able to function in school. And so they provided breakfast. And that idea and group, the Black Panther Party, it was taken up, evolved into the free and reduced lunch and breakfast program that the US government now allocates to each and every state. That happened because a few people said, let us pool our power together. We see a problem about it. Volunteerism sometimes doesn't feel sexy, but it is empowering. And we see the effects of our community that continues on generation after generation, only because a few people came together and thought enough to do something in their community. So we need a few more people to think enough of your community and your country, because democracy is on the line. And we need you to help save democracy, not only during this election, but even as Earth Day comes up. That if you want to plant a community garden because you have a food apartheid or food desert in your community, take that one bite at a time. Invite others to be a part of it and affect change for the better. And that's why I believe that volunteerism equals Black power.
And my good sister ate so much, I'm going to leave it there. We got 4 minutes. She ate that up, and I'm going to leave it there.
Yo, like, first of all, y'all see what I'm talking about? Alethea be dropping the knowledge. Like, she really does drop the knowledge. And then also when I talk about, like, we all talked about it, like the community uplift here. Ajay, even if you didn't add anything to it, you were adding to what she was saying. You was in the background hyping it up. And so we
Right.
support each other here. Like, yeah, like she's the hype woman, and we hype each other up. That's what we're here to do. That's what our volunteers are here to do. And it's really just an uplifting thing to go in, to be a part of community that hypes each other up, that uplifts each other. So I can't thank you guys enough. Again, what else can we say after all of those great words? Like, and thank you all for the work that you guys are doing on the ground, for the students that you're talking to and making their voices heard, for even what you all talked about as far as like people getting the text message from our volunteers. See, y'all are making a difference. Y'all are making an impact. And what we always say here is that there's some role we all have to play to see this freedom struggle movement progress. And so there is a role here for you at BVM. So please feel free to join us. Please, we're going to drop that link again, I'm assuming, to our volunteer page. So look at it. Sign up with us. Join this movement that we have going on right now that you can be a part of, where you can make change. And so I'm going to stop there, leave it to my co-host to see if she has anything else she wants to close out with, or any other the wonderful ladies on the screen.
I just want to say, join Texting Tuesdays every week, Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Like Alethea said, we sent 13 million last year, but we can double and triple and quadruple that this year, because it's power in numbers, and we are and we can do it together. We are more powerful together. So thank you guys for that. And make sure you join Texting Tuesdays.
Yes. And we don't have no problem with that being said 5 more times, okay? It's an easy way to volunteer. It's an easy way to volunteer. All right, Lauren, what do you have? And also let the people know what's coming up next.
Yes, I can't, y'all. I wish you could see my hands. I'm just so thrilled to be in this space with such powerhouse women, such powerhouse Black women. We really showed today that our power is here. We are here to really make that change in our communities. and we are here to provide those resources to our power building team so that they can do the same. And I'm really, really proud of our power building team. And I want to thank all of you for watching. I want to take time real quick to shout out our postcard party tomorrow about disinformation and misinformation. And then I also want to shout out our in-person celebration happening next Thursday on April, almost in March, on April 25th at 7 p.m. It'll be an amazing celebration for our folks that can be in person. And of course, Texting Tuesdays. That's all you got. Texting Tuesdays, okay? And yeah, that's all I got. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. We appreciate you all. And we're going to see you at the volunteer orientation to start your volunteer journey. Thank you.
Thank you. See you guys.
Yeah.